I always knew I was different. Not in the way my parents thought different was okay, but in the way that made my stomach twist when I looked in the mirror. It started when I was 16. Mom left her pantyhose on the bathroom counter after her shower. The house was so quiet I could hear my own breathing. I picked them up. They felt like nothing and everything at the same time. Soft. Real. Like they belonged in my hands. I put them on. Everything changed in that moment. My legs looked different. I looked different. For the first time in my life, I felt right. I felt like me. After that, I couldn't stop. Whenever Mom and Dad were gone, I'd sneak into their room. Her dresses hung in the closet like waiting friends. I'd try on her skirts, her blouses, panties, anything that made me feel like the person I saw in my dreams. The person I was inside. But our house was full of Jesus and rules about what boys should be. Dad worked at the steel mill and came home dirty and tired, talking about real men and hard work. Mom cooked dinner in silence and never looked me in the eye when Dad talked about my future. About college and marriage and grandchildren. There was no room for me in their world. Not the real me. College was hell. I joined every sport I could find, thinking maybe if I hit people hard enough, the soft parts of me would disappear. For 3 years, I almost believed it worked. I dated girls because that's what you did. They were nice enough, but kissing them felt like acting in a play I didn't understand. I moved to Portland after graduation. Got a job fixing computers at a small company downtown. The city felt different than home. People walked around being themselves, and no one seemed to care. That's where I met Jamie. He was buying coffee at the place on 3rd Street where I went every morning. Dark hair, gentle eyes, hands that moved like he was painting even when he was just stirring sugar. We started talking about nothing. The rain. The coffee. How the barista always spelled everyone's name wrong. It's Jamie, not Jeremy. He laughed, showing me his cup. I'm David, I said. Something about the way he looked at me made my chest feel warm. We became friends slowly. Met for lunch in the park downtown. Talked about books, about movies, about the dreams we had when we were kids. Jamie designed websites and showed me his art on his phone. His face lit up when he talked about color and light and the way shadows fell across buildings. 6 months passed before I told him. We were sitting in his apartment, rain hitting the windows like tiny fingers, and something in the quiet made me brave. I have something to tell you, I whispered. He turned down the music and waited. Sometimes I wear dresses, I said. The words felt like jumping off a cliff. I mean, I like to. I always have. Since I was little. Jamie was quiet for so long I thought he was going to ask me to leave. Then he reached over and took my hand. Show me, he said. That night, he gave me a blue dress he'd been hiding in his closet. Had been keeping it there for weeks, waiting for me to be ready. The fabric felt like water against my skin. When I looked in the mirror, I saw her. The person I'd been hiding for so long. You're beautiful, Jamie whispered, standing behind me. I started crying. Happy tears, sad tears, years of hiding all mixed together. We kissed that night. Soft and slow and careful. His hands on my waist, my fingers in his hair. We moved to his bed and touched each other like we were made of something precious. Like we might break if we weren't gentle enough. When I woke up in his arms the next morning, still wearing the dress, I felt whole for the first time in my life. The next 6 months were the happiest I'd ever been. I started keeping clothes at Jamie's place. A few dresses, some makeup, a pair of heels that made me feel tall and graceful. Jamie would take pictures of me sometimes, catching me laughing or looking out the window, and I'd see myself the way he saw me. Beautiful. Someone worth loving. One evening, while Jamie was working late, I found myself looking online for others like me. I found a website called Prism Stories that felt safe somehow. They had a calculator where you could enter your measurements, and I typed in my chest, waist, and hips with shaking fingers. The numbers felt important. Like claiming my place in the world. I ordered a book called My Closet Has Secrets, and when it came, I read every word twice. But happiness never lasts as long as you want it to. Jamie's parents came for Christmas. Gabriel and Jessica Carter, with their gray hair and sharp voices and ideas about who their son should marry. We had dinner at some fancy restaurant downtown, and I watched Jamie shrink into himself while his father talked about grandchildren and his mother showed pictures of girls from back home. Such lovely young women, his mother kept saying. Any of them would be lucky to have you. Jamie couldn't look at me across the table. That night, he sat on the edge of his bed and cried. I love you, he said. I do. But I can't lose them. They're all I have. You have me. I whispered. It's not enough, he said. And the words cut through me like glass. I moved out the next week. Jamie helped me pack my boxes, both of us moving like ghosts through rooms that used to feel like home. When I picked up the blue dress, the first one he'd given me, he started crying again. Keep it, he said. Please. I live alone now in a studio apartment across town. I still wear the dress sometimes, still put on makeup and look at myself in the mirror. The person looking back isn't ashamed anymore. She's sad, yes. Lonely, yes. But not ashamed. I learned something from Jamie that nobody can take away. I learned that the parts of me I used to hide aren't wrong. They're just me. All of me. The part that fixes computers and the part that loves the feel of silk against her skin. The part that falls in love with gentle men and the part that dreams of being seen and accepted and loved. Some days I miss Jamie so much it feels like I can't breathe. But other days, I catch my reflection in a shop window and smile at the woman looking back. She's still here. Still learning. Still becoming who she was always meant to be. The story isn't finished yet. I'm still writing it one day at a time in all the colors I was never allowed to wear before.